What is going on, everyone? Eagles versus Jaguars, halftime live, 16-0. Eagles up. Some good, some bad. We're going to break it all down in about 10 minutes or less. Joining me, he is Shane Haff. Go give him a follow on X at Shane Haff NFL. What's good, Shane?
What's up, man? It feels like the Eagles have dominated, and yet it's a 2-score game. We're like a Jags opening second half drive away from being real nervous, but so far it feels pretty good.
Yeah, overall, I think the defense is shutting down that Jaguars offense. I have full confidence that this isn't a trap game because these are the kind of games you don't want to leave your opponent kind of hanging in this thing. And the way this could turn out, the Jaguars could come back, who knows. But we're going to start with offense. Jalen Hurts, 13 of 16, 116 yards and a touchdown. He's also got 5 carries and 25 yards. Quick thoughts on Jalen Hurts.
He's had some good runs, a couple of good passes. That the big miss on the 4th down to AJ Brown. He had AJ Brown, and I don't know. It just looked like he tried to loft it a lot. Like he's trying to aim it too much.
Throw it, man. Zip it. He was open. Yeah,
it felt like he was just trying to aim that one a little bit too much. But I mean, I generally think he's played a pretty good first half. 13 of 16 for 116 yards. You could do a lot worse than that. It feels like everything's working on the offense. It just hasn't really resulted in points yet a lot.
Yeah, I think he's played a really solid game. I like the offense. They're using a lot of motion. That touchdown pass to Saquon was a dime. The one throw he had to A.J. Brown on that 3rd and long was a dime. I'm good with Jalen Hurts. He also had that long 3rd down conversion on the run. Jalen Hurts been fine. Saquon Barkley, the reverse or backwards hurdle. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Quick thoughts on Saquon.
That feels like, when we used to play, I used to play a lot of Call of Duty back in the day, and we'd try to jump off buildings and do 360 no scopes. That's what that felt like. He's just out here doing trick shots. I mean, that was incredible. I had to rewind. I just started laughing when that happened, but that was an insane play.
Unbelievable, man. He's been moving the chains, 13 carries for 61 yards and a touchdown. Just quick reaction. I think the offensive line has had some struggles today. Give credit to the Jacksonville defense a little bit because I feel like, I don't know if it's pass protection or run blocking, but they have done well. That 3rd and 17 touchdown run by Saquon what was a bad look for that Jacksonville defense. But overall, I feel like they've been doing an okay job given the situation and the injuries and things like that.
Yeah, you need Jordan Mailata back. Fred Johnson seems to not be able to have 2 good games in a row. So he has he'll have a really bad game, and then he has a really good game against Trey Hendrickson last week, and we're back in the really bad game territory so far today. Josh Allen's kind of dominated him so far. Mekhi Becton, I've kind of talked before that I thought Steen should take that job away from Becton, and nothing that Becton's done today really makes me feel differently. I feel like Becton's had a bit of a rough half as well. But, you're playing a backup left tackle. You can deal with that. And even though Josh Allen's gotten pressure, and I think he's got, 2 sacks, it hasn't really derailed the Eagles' offense. The Eagles, it's just like, I don't know. Why do we only have 16 points? We're moving the ball. Hurts numbers are good. Saquon's numbers are good. And yet drives just aren't finishing. And of course, you got the 4th down, the turnover on downs in Jags. I think that was in the red zone, or it was close, if not.
Yeah. Which
I like some field goals, but yeah.
I like that call. The call on
that
was fine. The not going for points at the end there, that was stupid. I didn't like that play.
I don't like the decision. It's funny. Nick Sirianni is so obsessed with getting teams to jump off sides. Like early in the game, was it the first drive they line up to go on 4th and 1 and they end up getting a false start because they're getting too late in the play clock? Like, just line up and run your play and pick up the first down. You don't have to try to get them to jump all the way down to 2 seconds on the play clock. And then, you line up after you score the touchdown like they do every single time they do it late in the first half. And all of a sudden we run Jalen Hurts up under center like anyone thinks you're tush pushing it from the 2-yard line. He's just so obsessed with that. And not to mention, I I don't understand why you're taking a point off the board to try to go for 2 there just because you got a yard. Like you literally turned a 3-score game into a 2-score game, and the potential upshot is going from 17 to 18 points. Like that doesn't make any difference other than 2 touchdowns and a field goal no longer ties you. That's bad. That's bad decision making. Generally, I like being aggressive, but that one just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, guys, we are getting a ton of comments. I promise you, during the post game, we'll go through every comment and we'll break it down way more in depth. But yeah, the Jags are running a lot of man, and I feel like Jalen Hurts has missed a guy or two here and there, but the coverage has been okay. So again, I'm limited credit, just like the comment here. Real quick on the receivers, because we got to talk defense before we head out, because I think that's been the star of the show. AJ Brown, Grant Calcaterra, 5 receptions for 30 yards. I think he's caught 100% of his targets since starting. So any thoughts on the receivers?
Yeah, I would like to see him get Devontae Smith involved more early. I mean, he's only got 1 target, 1 catch for 9 yards. And I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, he only had the 2 targets, 1 catch for -2 yards. It seems like he gets lost in the shuffle at times. And there's a lot of checkdowns being thrown to Saquon and to Kenny Gainwell and to Grant Calcaterra. And I like that Hurts will get to those checkdowns, but I would like to see them try to get Devontae Smith a little more involved early in games. Or, even here early in the second half, I would like to come out and get him some touches.
All right, let's jump into the defense. It's the Zach Baun world, and we're all just living in it. 6 tackles, 3 solo, has been literally everywhere on this first half. That diving interception. Quick thoughts on Zach Baun, and do you extend him now? What's your play if you're Zach Baun? Do you take the money now, or do you say, I'm going to wait to free agency and make a lot more money?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Zach Baun's agent, I would probably tell him, why don't you just keep playing like this and we'll cash in? Because we all know that Howie Roseman's not prone to paying linebackers very much money. But yeah, I mean, I would love for him to get a deal done. That they should have done this deal a month ago because the price just continues to go up. But Zach Baun's been incredible. Even it was an interception aside. I mean, that's an impressive play off of a deflection, but I think it was like the first Jags play when they ran the play action and he sunk back under that corner route. That's a really impressive play. He's been really good. Not just today, but he's been really good today for sure.
That play he had in coverage, man. Like, that is the most athletic play. When's the last time the Eagles had linebackers this good? And even Nakobe Dean had a nice play in coverage, which we don't see a lot. So the linebackers have been unbelievable. Cooper freaking DeJean is having yet again another masterclass in the slot here today. Cooper DeJean, how many tackles does he have? He doesn't have a lot of tackles. He only has 0 tackles, but at least a couple plays on the ball. Again, showing why he has literally turned around, transformed this Eagles defense. Quick thoughts on Cooper DeJean before we get ready for the third quarter.
I mean, it's the second week in a row he's come up big on a 4th and 1. So that's nice. He had a really nice play on an outbreaker out of the slot. He's been really good. Cooper DeJean, I think he's going to have a chance to compete for Rookie of the Year this year. If he continues to play at this level, he just needs to snag a few picks. But the amount of impact plays that he's made is incredible. And shout out to the defense as a whole. The defense only surrendered an 18% success rate in the first half. That's 3 successful plays for the Jags in the entire first half. That's just incredible stuff.
Cooper DeJean looks like the fucking executioner on those 3rd and 4th downs, man. That's what I'm calling him, the executioner. Because you look at last year and how bad this Eagles defense was, especially on 3rd and longs. And this guy is just making play after play after play. Again, Cooper DeJean is going to be the guy that makes me break my one rule, which is I never buy current players' jerseys. He might be He might be the guy that changes it big time language. Sorry, Marshawn, my bad. DePaul says Coop. Second half adjustments. What do the Eagles need to do as we get ready for the second half? Go ahead.
Stop running the ball so much on early downs. It's not working, and you're playing the worst pass defense in the NFL. the Jags are stacking the box. They're daring you to throw the ball. Just throw the ball. You can do it. You can throw on this defense. Take what the defense is giving you. And in the first half, they were asking you to throw the ball. And I thought the Eagles put themselves in too many 3rd and longs trying to run too much early.
We've got my man, Eagles Eric. Johnny Wilson, was that offensive pass interference or not? I don't honestly remember it. I'm making too many videos. Do you recall that at all?
Yeah, it was on the touchdown. That's one of those that, like, depends on who you're a fan of if you think that should be OPI or not. But, trying to play physical. Johnny Wilson, it feels like every time you notice him, it's because of a penalty. And that one's unfortunate because it takes what would have been his first career touchdown off the board.
Yep. All right, guys, we will be back for post-game live. Again, breaking this down position by position, much more in depth with highlights. We've got them all. We'll be watching them together with you in the comments. So please be sure to join us for post-game. Shane, any final thoughts, plugs?
Yeah, just come hang out with us on the post-game show. Get in your 3-word reactions in the chat. It'll be a good time, assuming the Eagles win. So come hang out with us after the game.
All right, guys. We will see you for post-game. For Shane, for myself, stay awesome. Go